Welcome back, everyone, to Three Themes Live. I'm Kris.
And I'm Rebecca.
We're so happy to have you here. Today we're talking about a new quilt block, and it's one that is actually very traditional, but we haven't actually talked about it on Three Themes before.
This is exciting.
Yeah, and it's the Courthouse.
One of my favorites.
It's the Courthouse, so it is very similar to what a lot of you would know as a log cabin block, right? We're talking about foundation paper piecing today, and there's a really great product that we absolutely love called Quilt Block Foundation Paper by It's So Emma. And what it is basically is just a tab of papers that have already had the Courthouse Steps drawn onto them. You're gonna start out with a 1.5 inch square, and you're going to actually place it on the back of the paper that is marked, okay? And that's why I like the Caterpillar, is because I can really see right through there and know exactly where I need to place this. And then you need to take a little glue stick, and just a little dab will do. Not much. And you only do that the first time.
Right.
And you can see that that is definitely covered up, that center square. So I start out with 1, and then I need to go to 2 and 3. Well, there's this handy little ruler called the Add a Quarter Plus. Is this a must-have? No, but is it a nice-to-have?
Oh, yes.
Yes. All right, so what I do, the nice thing about this ruler is it has a tapered edge. So one side is tapered, and the other side has a little lip. It's a 1/4 inch lip, to be exact. And I want to place the tapered edge between the 1 and the 2. And this is going to help me to know exactly where to fold my fabric back, or my paper back, I should say. It's like that. I have a little piece sticking out, so I just flip this over. And do you see how nice it is to have that lip going right there? I now know exactly where to cut. That gives me the perfect 1/4 inch seam.
That is so cool.
Yeah, and I'm going to do the same thing on between 1 and 3. So this is 1 and 2 and 1 and 3. Now I like to save time, I do 2 rows at a time. Do you do the same?
So I actually go through and pre-fold all of my papers. Oh. It's a little more time consuming,
okay.
But I like this technique, so I may steal it for the next time I do this.
I really like this. It's a little bit more methodical, and it just helps me to know exactly what I'm doing next.
Right.
So you can see that through this light box that I have my 1/4 inch seam already built in there. So now I have to go to numbers 2 and 3. And 2 and 3 are going to be white. Again, remember that you do it you're always putting the fabric on the back side, and you're sewing from the front side. So let's go ahead and grab my background pieces. I decided to do this. Can you tell the theme that I went with here?
It's red and white, so I'm thinking Valentine's Day?
Absolutely.
Wow.
I'm thinking, you know what? In honor of Valentine's Week, I decided to do a red and white one. Now, this one I'm going to sew one at a time. You could put a pin in it if you wanted to, but this is such a small block, which I love. It's a 4-inch block, that I'm just going to place it right sides together along that edge. I'm going to flip it over. And then what you need to do is you're going to take it to your sewing machine, and you're going to sew on the line between the 1 and the 2. You don't need to worry about having it at a 1/4 inch because you're sewing directly on the line. But here's a tip for you. You want to make sure and shorten your stitch length. So a normal stitch length is usually a 2.0, maybe a 2.5. That would be the default. I want you to actually shorten that stitch length to be perhaps a 1.8 or a 1.6. Now, why would that be, Rebecca?
That perforates our paper.
Yes.
And makes it easier to rip off, but it also helps our seams to stay a little more tightly tight together so they won't come unraveled.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So it makes that paper so easy to pull off. Okay, so I've done the 1 and the 2. You can see right here. I asked Rebecca to put black thread in there so that you could see it a little bit better. And now we need to do between 1 and 3 because we've done 1, 2, and now 3. So what I'm going to do is flip this over and place my second square right there, right sides together, lining it up along the edge. I'm just gonna hold it. Again, if you felt like you needed to pin it, you certainly could. And Rebecca's gonna once more take it to the machine and sew right there. Now let's take a look at what I'm doing next here while you do that. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out again, and I'm just doing like a little finger press right there. I love having the little mini iron from Clover because it just, for small projects like this, it's really nice to be able to do that. And you can see that I'm actually doing it on this glass tempered mat. So we've got a red square here. We did the white. I'm gonna go with another red. So I want you to notice that I didn't pre-cut this. I just have a bunch of strips going on here. And that is perfectly okay because now I know I have plenty of space to be able to do this, and I just trim at the end. So because my light box is here, I can visually see where this is going. But if I don't have a light box, I could just kind of hold it up in the air and towards the light, and you could see it there. Okay, so I'm gonna sew, again, right sides together all the way down. Okay, so I've done that. I'm gonna just do one more round just to show you what's happening here. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you can see that on the back. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what do I do next? I need to go to 6. So the 6 is right here. See the line right there between the 2 and the 6? Well, that's where I'm gonna put my tapered edge. Fold it back on that edge, bring my 1/4 inch lip right around. Again, it just rests right on there, and I'm able to have my 1/4 inch seam. And now I need to go to number 7. So 7 is gonna be the same thing. Pull it back, bring this over top, and trim. Can you see what's happening here? Look at that. So Rebecca, what would my next round be?
So it would be your white.
Exactly, it would be the white. And so, again, and you could do this as scrappy as you wanted, or as,
Right.
you know,
Yes.
exactly how, you know, whatever fabrics you want to use, as long as you separate them between lights and darks. So again, I would go here, we would sew down, this would come out this way, this would go down, so, and this would go this way. And you continue building this 4-inch block until you get something like, ta-da! Oh, isn't that cute? Now on this one, I used, you know, I had these peaches, so I went out with all different prints. You could have the same print or not. And then I used low volumes for this one. And I also did this one in yellow. I also did it in blue.